I was the keeper of everyone's secrets until the day I became one myself. The thing about being the confidant is that people assume you have no stories of your own. For 3 years, I was the one they called at 2 a.m. when their world was falling apart. Maya would sob into the phone about her mother's drinking. Jake would confess his fears about never being good enough for his father. Even Sarah, who seemed to have it all together, would whisper about the panic attacks she hid behind her perfect smile. I was 24, working at a non-profit downtown, sharing a cramped apartment with 2 roommates who barely acknowledged my existence. But with this group, Maya, Jake, Sarah, and the others, I was essential. I was the glue that held our circle together, the one who remembered birthdays, organized gatherings, and somehow always knew the right thing to say when someone was breaking. We'd met in college, that magical time when proximity creates the illusion of destiny. 5 years later, we still gathered every Friday at O'Malley's, the dive bar that had become our temple. The wooden booth in the back corner might as well have had our names carved into it. We'd sit for hours, peeling the labels off beer bottles and sharing pieces of ourselves like communion wafers. The irony wasn't lost on me that I was the listener in a group of people who barely knew how to hear each other. Maya would interrupt Jake's stories to talk about her latest drama. Sarah would check her phone while someone poured their heart out. But they all turned to me when they needed someone to really listen, to validate their pain, to make them feel less alone in their struggles. I didn't mind. Being needed felt like purpose. Being trusted felt like love. The night everything changed started like any other Friday. We were squeezed into our usual booth, the noise of the bar creating a cocoon around our conversation. Maya was crying, again, about her job at the marketing firm. Her boss had passed her over for a promotion, and she was spiraling into her familiar pattern of self-doubt. I just don't understand why I'm never enough, she said, mascara creating dark rivers down her cheeks. I work twice as hard as everyone else, I stay late, Maybe, Jake interrupted, you should try not being so emotional all the time. Like businesses want stability, you know? The table went quiet. Sarah shot Jake a look that could have frozen hellfire. Maya's face crumpled like a paper bag. That's not, Sarah started. I mean, I'm just saying, Jake continued, oblivious or uncaring. Maybe if you didn't cry every time someone looked at you wrong, people would take you more seriously. I watched Maya shrink into herself, watched her pull her cardigan tighter around her shoulders like armor. This was the moment. This was when I was supposed to step in, to redirect the conversation, to smooth over the rough edges with my usual diplomatic touch. Instead, I heard myself say, Jake's right. The words hung in the air like smoke. Maya's eyes widened. Sarah's mouth fell open. Even Jake looked surprised. I mean, I continued, the words tumbling out before I could stop them, Maya, you do cry a lot. And Jake, you're not exactly Mr. Emotional Intelligence yourself.